I'm Stephanie with Rocket City Mom.
And I'm Molly with Low Mill.
And you're watching No Huntsville.
This episode of No Huntsville is brought to you by Straight to Ale Brewery.
This is Tom.
And I'm Joe.
And this is No Huntsville, a special episode today because we'll be covering food. We don't do enough food, so I'm excited to have Urban Gardens in here. Ashley Chapman, director of Deep Roots of Alabama and the creator of Urban Garden. www.urbangardenal.com, Facebook and Twitter. Ashley, thank you so much for coming in and talking to us today.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us about Urban Garden, what it is, what are you trying to do with this website that you put together?
Urban Garden is a resource and a network hub for people maybe trying to grow their own or get involved with others in the community that are growing. It's just a resource to be able to find information.
So let's talk about what is urban gardening if someone's not familiar with the term.
Urban gardening is like city gardening.
Right.
It is being able to produce food on small amounts of land.
Sure.
Even an eighth of an acre.
So you don't need a John Deere tractor to
Right,
have good food.
right.
You can actually do it,
Yes,
by hand. So
yes.
that's great. So your website basically is this networking hub where it gives people information about doing their own produce, but also finding events and also finding local markets and maybe restaurants that also have that local food, correct?
Yes.
So let's talk about that. Tell us about some good markets here in town. Tell us about some restaurants that are doing really good local produce.
Some local places I know of for sure is 1892 East.
Right.
And also the Sandwich Farm.
Yeah, so the Sandwich Farm, right next to Lone Goose Saloon. We ate there yesterday. It was really good, and I think Joe's a believer now.
Right? Yeah, I always believed that there was a sandwich farm, but yeah, it was really good, and you could actually what was I saying yesterday? Everything tasted really good, and I didn't know it was all local.
And it was probably because of the produce.
It was,
and that's what you got, the avocado sandwich.
I did.
So it works out real well. And so also, tell us about some events that are going on here that is also surrounding local produce and getting good local food.
There is some canning and jamming on the 19th and the 21st about learning how, if you are growing your own food, maybe how to can it, make jellies, make jams.
Right.
Another big event is on June 21st, there's going to be a community garden tour, and we're going to be able to have those out, and you're going to be able to map and go from garden to garden around the Huntsville area.
Wow.
To be able to be able to see what other people are growing. And I'm in an educational garden at Morris Elementary if you want to see what my third graders are growing and hear a little bit about compost.
So there are a lot of local little gardens, community gardens, stuff like. Can you name some community gardens here in town that are good?
Montesano has one going on. It's really good. The Casa, I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with. And the Flying Monkey, they have a community garden, and they have a Facebook for that as well.
Nice.
And then there's a lot of people that have reached out to me just wanting subdivision gardens, maybe where a house is on a plot of land near them.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
on a smaller scale,
And converting
people
that
trying
over to like a community garden.
Right.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's one actually in a park in 5 Points where they built the big garden planters, and you can go and just pick whatever you want. I didn't know it was like that.
Wow, that's
So that
cool.
community seems really cool and welcoming.
Yeah, and I think we were talking about it before. Is like gardening and food in general just bring people together.
Mm-hmm.
I put a garden in my backyard. I'm horrible at it, but the process was cool. The project is cool. My kids and I, took the time to actually dig in the dirt, put the seeds down, and now we kind of get to sit back and watch the grass grow. But
It's nice to see something Tom's horrible at, though.
yeah, exactly. But so, being a small farmer, an urban gardener,
you're an urban farmer, urban gardener.
Can you give us some tips that I can use that I might not know about that could really help me produce good food?
Just some easy things to do for the average person would be to keep eggshells after you're cooking in the morning, to keep your eggshells for composting, as well as or putting that nitrogen back in the soil. Coffee grounds, the teas and the grounds from the K-cups.
Right.
Those are all good. And if we're going to tie it into beer for
have to
No
tie it.
Huntsville, you can also use, in certain amounts, hops from after the brewing.
There you
of
go.
the local.
There you go. There's our
And that
tie-in.
is good to decompose and break down.
Drinking leads to
So
healthy
if you're
eating.
brewing your own beer, you can use those hops, the hops that you normally just throw away. You can put them in your composting, and then actually have really good soil to start planting and stuff like that,
Yes.
right? Well, that's cool.
Let's call out to some local breweries to help out your gardeners.
Well, of course, we have Straight to Ale and Yellowhammer, some of our friends over there.
And also, if you're looking for coffee grounds, if you don't drink coffee, Starbucks gives it away free. Books A Million gives it away free. And they're just in a little aluminum bags in a basket. You just grab it and go.
Nice.
And is that something that's on your website that people can see?
No, but I will put it on there. This website's only 3 months old and it's constantly as people reach out. I will update it. It'll evolve all the time.
You've got so many likes on your Facebook page.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've only been doing this for a short time and already
3
getting
months.
really good traction. And I think you kind of got a new position out of it too, right?
I did.
So let's talk about that a little bit.
I'll be the upcoming director for Deep Roots of Alabama. It is the largest, as of right now, North Alabama Seed to Plate program for children in the 3rd grade is where we hit our core components on being able to teach them how to grow a seed all the way to eating it.
That's amazing.
That is
so
cool.
this very short time, you came into town, you developed something that you saw a need for, you put this website up, you got a lot of traction, you got a new job from it, and now you're lucky enough you get to be on this show.
Oh, yeah, I do.
So,
I'm
my
excited.
God, you are a whirlwind of activity and education.
And she brings strawberries.
And she brought in strawberries, which we've been
These
eating.
are good.
And the size of these things are amazing. They taste great. These are from, wait, where were these from?
Brown's Farm. And they have a website, brownfarmstrawberries.com.
And they're excellent.
They're so good.
They are, and you can pick it. You can go and pick your own and just take your buckets, and there's wagons to pull the kids and the
And sometimes it's a lot cheaper to go to those farms and pick your food than
Because you can eat while you pick.
that too. But it is, for those gallon buckets, it's $11. And when you go to the grocery for just 2 pounds is like $3, $3.88 or $2.88.
Right.
So it does. And strawberries last up to a year. You can freeze them.
Nice.
So if you're not somebody that eats them all the time, but I think y'all are good. I think it's done.
I don't believe we'll need to be freezing these. We're going to be gone for the end of this podcast. All right, Ashley, thank you so much for coming in. That's Urban Gardens. It's urbangardenal.com. Also on Facebook and on Twitter.
And we have a meetup group.
Oh, and that's meetup.com/Madison-Urban-Gardens.
Yes.
Look at that. I had that going. All right, so that's it. Check out Urban Gardens. You guys get out there, make your gardens, get local, fresh food. And Ashley, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
All right.